The discussions happening now in Germany could have historic repercussions regarding the gold that Germany owns. Let's discuss what could be happening soon as we explore. Germany is a major player in the central bank sphere, considering they're the second largest holder of gold in the world. That whatever they do with gold is going to have a big impact with regards to central banks and their gold holdings. Well, right now, there are many German politicians who are very nervous and they're concerned over the security of the nation's vast quantity of gold stored in the United States, as European Union and U.S. relations are continuing to deteriorate here, according to mining.com. Germany currently holds the world's second largest reserves of gold, sitting at 3,352 tons, behind only the United States. But it is estimated that about 37% of those roughly 1,236 tons are held in vaults of the New York Federal Reserve Building, according to the German publication Bild. And that is a big deal, folks, because moving that much gold, I don't know that there's been that much gold ever moved from any one particular time. You know, it does take a while, but any indication and that we can look at as a guide as to what has happened before is the last time that Germany repatriated their gold. We're going to talk about that later in the video. But you can patriate gold to your possession as well, too. Channel sponsor Summit Metals. They have gold in all sizes, many different sizes, not all sizes, but they go down as small as 1 gram. And this is it's a precious metals wallet they have here, and it is business card size, and you can fit these 1 gram bars in each of these slots. You can fit 12 bars in here. And I intend to continue to populate this holder to show all 12 of them up here. So stay tuned as I go through that as a little stacking journey that I'm on. It's one way to be able to stack safely, securely, and not lose your bars, but yet be able to see the bar right there. These little Scottsdale 1 gram bars are really nice. I hope that Summit Metals continues to carry these. And so check them out at summitmetals.com. to get your wallet and your 1 gram bars as well. I have another one on the way, so I'm anxious to get that and fill another slot there. But what Germany is going to be doing here is quite interesting, especially if this is drawn out to its logical conclusion. Now, gold is known for its ability to provide security and liquidity during geopolitical turbulence. By keeping some of its gold reserves across the Atlantic, the Bundesbank would theoretically have quick access to U.S. currency should the need arise. However, many in Germany are now feeling uneasy about keeping its precious metals there, now estimated to be worth over 100 billion euros, especially with Donald Trump repeatedly expressing the desire to gain more control over the Federal Reserve. And, I'm not really sure where that's coming from. Is this a foreign press where this is being quoted from? I guess maybe it is from the German publication Bild. But the only thing that I know that Donald Trump has said about the Federal Reserve is that he thinks that Jerome Powell should, bend to his will and lower interest rates when he says to do it. Although the Fed is an independent agency, that has long been established. And even though he is appointed by the president, but nonetheless, his term will expire next year. However, many in Germany are now feeling, again, very uneasy because of the relations there. And of course, Europe itself and Germany itself has obviously degraded. And I'm not talking about the people of Germany, the actual people that live in Germany. I'm talking about their leadership has degraded. And many rights and free speech is something that is of the past, it seems like there. And there's a lot of problems in Germany, as most can attest. In fact, if you're German, let me know what your thoughts are about your leaders in your country. But, some are now calling for the German government to bring back their gold as soon as possible. The Bundesbank and the federal government must show foresight in this phase of global geopolitical power shifts and immediately bring back the German gold from the USA. They didn't say some of the gold. I think they want it all. And that's crazy. All 1,236 tons of it. And so this is what is being expressed now upon German politicians. Now, especially at a time with not only based off of U.S.-German relations and U.S.-European Union relations, which, by the way, Germany is essentially the head of the European Union, but at a time when immense new debt is being discussed in Berlin and Brussels. We need immediate access to all the gold reserves in an emergency, Michael Jagger of the European Taxpayer Associations told Bild. That's exactly right. To protect you, that's what it's for. Gold is a protection. At a minimum, the government should conduct a review of the reserves held in the U.S. and even do a physical test of the gold bars. Imagine that. Jagger is saying that this should happen. We need to do that with our gold reserves too. Test them, audit them, make sure it's the real thing, especially after what happened last time in Germany. And again, I'm going to get to that in a moment. Stay tuned. But that is exactly what is being proposed here. Markus Ferber, member of the European Parliament, echoed the same worries to Bild. I demand the regular control of the German gold reserves. To do this, official representatives of the Bundesbank must personally count the bars and document their results. However, as of now, the Bundesbank does not appear to share these concerns. There is no doubt at all that the New York Fed, we have a trustworthy, reliable partner with them in the storage of our gold holdings, Bundesbank President Joachim Nagel stated back in February. It is estimated that the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, as the world's largest gold custodian, stores 6,331 tons of the metal on behalf of more than 30 foreign central banks. In addition to Germany, other prominent European economies storing their gold with the New York Fed include Italy and Switzerland. There is that. Now, some of you may remember back in about 2013, there was a push to repatriate the gold from Germany. Well, that happened and finished in 2017. Germany completes repatriation of their gold. The German Bundesbank released the desired amount of gold ahead of schedule, recall from New York and Paris, after the repatriation of 300 tons of gold from the United States was completed last year. The last pile of 91 tons of gold from France is now back in Frankfurt. So that's 300 tons. That's about a third less, more than a third, of what is there. They want to repatriate now. That a plan to keep half of its gold reserves in its own country has been completed 3 years ahead of schedule. In 2013, the Bundesbank announced its plans to bring back a larger part of gold reserves to its own country. The goal was to store half of the precious metal in Frankfurt again by 2020, for which 300 tons from the U.S. and 374 tons from France had to be recovered. And so it has been done in phases, but now it is back. And it's crazy. Now, what this article here from Holland Gold doesn't tell us is that there was issues about repatriation, and especially when they found out that some of their bars were not what they were supposed to be. Each bar is stamped with a maker's mark and a date and a purity, but a lot of that gold has been rehypothecated. In other words, it's the same. It was still gold, but it was from like a form like this to a form like this. You know, I mean, that's an oversimplification of it. It's still pure gold. It's the same purity, and it had the same markings on it, but still, it was, they could tell that it was different. That was a big to-do back in the day. I remember the discussions about that. And that makes people concerned, thinking, well, that gold had been leased out. They had to pull it from another source. The actual physical gold, rehypothecation is what that's called. And so that was a real concern, for sure. And the Bundesbank has a press release about that as well, too, saying that last year the Deutsche Bundesbank successfully completed the transfer of gold stocks from New York. The transfers were carried out with any disruptions or irregularities, said Karl Ludwig Thiel, member of the Bundesbank Executive Board. Except, what about to talk about the rehypothecation? I guess they didn't put it in their press release, but still, it's one thing that was a pretty big concern. So now they want to bring all of their gold back. At least that's what some politicians say that they want to have happen. We'll see. It is quite intriguing, the developments that we're seeing here. More and more nations. In fact, it's probably good for each nation to hold its own gold, because you know what they say about possession is 9/10 of the law. And maybe they fear that, especially with this talk of revaluation, that who knows, maybe that gold could be used as leverage against the European Union for a number of different reasons. And so I think they kind of want to get ahead of that. It's just sort of an unspoken rule. But nonetheless, we'll see how this happens. If this does occur, and they move all over 1,200 tons of that gold back, it will make history as being the largest transfer of gold from one entity to another. That's pretty remarkable to think about how that would occur. So fascinating indeed. You know, the thing about gold is, you know, it doesn't take up a lot of space, but it packs a lot of value, especially now. As I record this video, gold is sitting over $3,120 as I record this video. Who knows what it'll bring by the time you watch it, but still, gold is at an all-time high. So I think we're going to see more activity and actions happen with gold now, just because of the price. So we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. Nonetheless, there is your news for today with regards to what Germany is thinking with gold and how they can make history. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. And no, this is not an April Fool's joke. And just point notice, this is actually a big concern happening now. So let me know what your thoughts are. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to each and every one of you for taking the time to watch, and to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.